Hi everyone, welcome back. So I have a reading to do for someone named Just Karma, or no, that's Karma. That's Karma. That's Karma. Yeah. Anyway, she's wondering. I think she's a she. I'm not sure. You're gonna have to let me know. Or it doesn't matter how you identify at all. But she's wondering about Don Jr., Eric, Ivanka, and Jared, of course, would have to be included. So wondering what the future holds for them, whether or not they stay in the USA, most of all. So I'll take a little dive in and see what I can see what I can get. Okay, hold on, let me swap out cameras here. Okay, so I decided to use Gerald Marchetti's Kipper, in case you wanted to know which deck this is. And I'll look at Don Jr. First. Now, of course, he's not married, but has 5 kids who, every time I've seen a photo of them, they look like they're still in some kind of trauma. Goodness. Anyway, but his main squeeze is, Kimberly Guilfoyle. The Screaming Banshee. Okay, Don Jr., what is your future? Will you be staying in the United States? Will you be recuperating after your father's loss? How is it going to go? What is in your future? Don Jr. Oh, man, the little dude is just about as belligerent as his dad. But I suppose younger with more energy. And his drug use hasn't caught up with him as much. Well, no. I think he's been through rehab a few times, though, but of course it didn't work. Oh, goodness. Okay. I had to let all that go. See if I can get to a neutral point here with this guy. And get him out of my body is the deal. That's why I use the cards. There's only so much I need to know when it comes to these people. Okay. Don Jr. Right there. Oh, well. I hope this means he'll be in therapy. More likely it means he'll be in court. Right at the center or at the heart of the reading, man. This dude is in for being brought before judges, maybe going to doctors. This card is all about investigations. Could be tax agent that he has to go before. But it's basically someone who decides the course of your, next area of life, or next chapter of life for you. So there's a lot of pressure, there's disputes. It can just be a complaint against him, and it could be a place where he's negotiating. All right. Money and lies and grifting. Whoa. Oh, interesting. So the way that gifts come in, okay, and then here is his main squeeze. I imagine she's in it for him, or in it with him, just to get the fundage as well. Ooh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Whoa, look at that. So right here at the center of the reading, we're dealing with financial issues because of his grifting, and someone gives a lot to him, and that is Kimberly Guilfoyle. So I think she is one of the people who tries to bring the funds in for him in her own way, I guess. I don't know. I don't follow any of these people anywhere. on social media, so I would never know unless I look for something specifically. Now, this is usually my J6 committee card, but when it comes to timing, this is a card for always. So she is always going to be in this poverty consciousness with him and his clan. Like she's glued. I don't think they've gotten married. I thought, if I remember correctly, they were engaged. But she's in it. She's in it to win. She doesn't mind the risk. She probably likes the drugs and, as well. Okay, he's being watched because of J6. These cards are knighting together. The soul journey he's on will lead to revealing the lies. Somebody will be flipping. Now this could be her mother. The mature woman could be her mother. Change. Okay, here he is down here exiting the reading. He's not, yeah, you know what, let's, while I'm here, might as well keep going. Oh yeah, look at that. Here we are with the rehab. Okay. Interesting, okay. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so to answer the question, I don't see him leaving the USA. What I do see is with what's-her-face being Kimberly Guilfoyle being watched, and she's waiting, and it's all going to lead to poverty, even more, poverty consciousness. Doesn't have to be, exact financial poverty, but with all these cards coming up behind his back, and he's not going towards the future. He's looking at the past in a very painful way. The past will be catching up to him. It looks like his actual children with his first marriage is the soul journey he's supposed to be on, but I don't see him going that way. Instead, I see him trying to bring in some creative finance. This could be the mother of his children, because I think she would be young enough to fall under. This is somebody who's under 55. This gal's definitely over 55, sometimes 50 even. But anyway, and then again on another level, this could be Ivanka, because this is the sister card. But I don't feel like it is Ivanka, because I have the marriage card here and the child card here, which could also be a new start. So there could be, it's possible that there's some new creative start after he goes through rehab, and he might do it at the behest of his ex-wife. The change comes through, I think, because of the kids. And, if a person ever gets clean, usually, it's normal to go through rehab 8-9 times and to, finally clear it all out. Or it just never works. It depends, you've either got an addictive personality or not, or to a degree that really, causes problems in your life or not. He definitely has a lot of that. So, okay. What's coming up behind him are children and younger women, either family or by marriage, who are looking at their security and the foundations of their lives, and they don't want to wind up in poverty. And I think they see him as like him and his family and all the people that are Trumpers. They feel like they're all, well, I don't know. I'm not sure about his ex-wife, but there's something about where they're attached to this community of Trumpers. That's all coming up behind him. These are not good cards to have coming up behind him. Of course, they're not that bad either. I mean, I don't have the imprisonment card. I mean, this can be our J6 committee card, and maybe there is a lawsuit by some younger woman about that. I don't know. Or any type of a lawsuit about this woman. Maybe there's another woman he had a child with in the past, in between the marriage, and maybe there's somebody that we don't know about. Because if this isn't bad health and rehab, and we can read the cards in layers, if it's not bad health and rehab, then it's a quickie. This card can be a quick little lie down, right? Doubt it'd be with Nurse Ratched, but whatever. Anyway, all this is coming up behind him. And the important piece right here, which is one of the four corners, is that he is looking at loss. He's looking at a painful loss. A painful loss is in his future. And it's something that he can't, and it might, as far as timing goes, it might happen in the winter time, this coming winter after, Trump loses. Because he's hitched his wagon to Trump, and that's it, right? Ivanka has, if reading this on the level of Ivanka, she has made the change and shifted, to her own, making her own money, or she always did make her own money, all kinds of shoes and bags and from China. But anyway, so Don Jr. is looking at nothing but pain and loss that he can't get out from underneath. It's something that's going to, give him problems. Now, this could be his mother who has, this could be Ivana, and this could be her grave. What's buried there, kind of a thing. But all the work that he does is just going to lead. See, all these cards are weighing down on him. Being at the bottom is not a good place to be. In a cardamoncy spread like this. This is possibly even, what's her face? If they did get married, this could be divorce, because this can be a divorce card, and she's above him. If this is her mom, she's hanging over him. He's very helpless. They're watching him. He's being surveilled. This is a card of surveillance and helplessness, just waiting and watching. He's waiting till the next election, hoping it will work. This up here, we're talking karma, and he has the karma of waiting. He also, this is like painstaking detail and fingers that are, just think back to the days when young women were working under these bright hot lights and risked losing their fingers just for their work, and they worked like 12 hours a day, right? That's hanging over him. I don't have the imprisonment card, but if we had them together, I would say, making license plates maybe. But, I don't have that, so I can't say that. But all of his toil and labor for his dad, I'm surprised his card isn't in here, leads to nothing. He's going to get nothing for all his work with his dad, and it's going to put him in a down patch, or at least rehab, a place where he needs to get some rest. Or at least he's going to feel very weak, because this has been a real, sickening situation for him to be in. But it seems to go with his drug use and who he is. So there you are. He's hitched he doesn't make his own money. He's hitched his, he's a grifter just like his dad. He's hitched his wagon to his dad. And the whole Trump organization is going to be going down over the years, down to nothing. So if he doesn't get on a different train and get something else going, he doesn't have anything. This is his future. His future is small and he needs to start over. This is my answer card here. Small, needs to start over. Needs that change. Needs to give something up and just let it all go. The adjudication, which should be adjudication, but you know, this is back in the end of the 19th century that this deck was based on. So I guess that was the language then. And maybe that's the language in the UK. You guys let me know. But he is, whether he likes it or not, he has to just wait. Wait for the votes, wait for the authorities to act, and he's helpless. And that train has left the station. Even if he were to go away somewhere, I don't see him. We don't have, you know, if he were, if I were going more, there we are. Him and his lovely, loyal people. If he were going out of the country to stay, we would have had, watch it be the last one, sure was, this card. It didn't come through. So I can't say that he's going to leave the USA. But he could go to rehab, and he could have some illness that takes him down for a while. Now, on another level, this card is indicative of a dead end. And you know, that weakness and dead end, it's akin to the mountain card in the Lenormand. So after that downtime and that dead end, if he doesn't make something new of himself, there's that. But meanwhile, he's dealing with legal issues or some kind of comeuppance. Thank you, Charles, for that word. You know who I'm talking to. So I don't know who this young person is, and I mean, I doubt his own sister, Ivanka, would be suing him. But he's got this weighing on his shoulders. This is all coming down on him. As well as these, so legal issues because of the way he grifts and makes money. The only way you can mess up this good fortune card is to have some crappy cards around it. We sure have. Other people controlling his fortune. Maybe this is, what's her name's mom, you know, Kim Guilfoyle's mom, who has been funding something. There's that possibility. Secretly, behind the scenes. This could also, this false person card can also be an enemy or a rival. But anyway, this card is messed up. He doesn't really have good fortune because of these negative cards around. He's just waiting on the election. Good luck with that, dude. And then karma, and Jeffrey Thompson clued that in. I love it when you guys read the cards for me and give me more clues. You've been helping me so long. Thank you. Let's see. Anything else? I've got everything that, yeah. No, if I say anything more, I think it'll just be a repeat. So, okay. Let me, bear with me while I, get into Eric. Eric and Lara. The Lara Trump, the Tom Petty cover band girl. God. I hope she's been sued up the wazoo by his family. Okay. Then again, if it's past that 30-year mark, I think it's open to the public. I don't remember when Tom Petty did that, wrote and produced that song. So anyway, Eric and Ivanka, what is your future? Not Ivanka, I'm sorry. Eric and Laura, or Lara. Eric and Lara. She's now the head of the RNC, right? Nepotism much? Oh. Let it all go. This is the portion where I try to let my head go, except for the eye-hand coordination part. I set the intention for my guides to come through and get the cards lined up just the way they need to bring through the truth. What is Eric Trump and his wife's future? Right there. Okay, here's Lara, or Lara, however you pronounce her name. This could be her mom. She's not very happy. Wow. All right, let me just get the cards laid out before I start commenting. And there they are. They're looking at each other. They're connected. This is the way the cards come together when you've got a kind of, relationship that's tight. God. All right, now my brain's kicking in. Stephen Colbert. Dad! Dad, can I get a hug? Oh, these people. They give, man, the comedians have been given the gift, though, right? And there's not one single late night talk show host out there that's for Trump, right? I mean, that shows a level of evolution there. Okay. Lara, whoa, in the future, she's not going to be feeling so good. There's a down patch coming for her. Eric, I think, still misses his mom. Eric could be under the thumb of her mom, his mother-in-law. Lara really wants the money. And there aren't any cards here to really mess it up, except for this one knighting to it. Now, she wouldn't mind getting out of the country, or she might just have a bigger vision in the future. He wouldn't mind leaving the country either, and he does have that within his control. Wow. Okay. So she's looking for the money weighs down on her. That's what she really wants. Fame and fortune. But she's looking forward in her future. What's coming in is not anything like that. Not at all. She is stuck waiting as well. Now, these cards are coming up behind her back, and then this is her future. So what's coming up behind her back is the loyalty of and the teamwork and the what's the right word to bring this together that makes sense? It's mostly loyalty and the successful outcome of the court system that has documents. And I don't think that's going to affect her in a positive way, because this is her future up here. What's coming up, well, she's looking towards him. She's looking towards her husband and their marriage, and she doesn't mind this risk. And she thinks there's going to be a sudden, something of abundance coming through in the future, because she's dumb enough to think, right? She's dumb enough to think that Trump will win. And so she's risked her entire future on that. Well, we can see how it's not going to play out. What Eric is looking forward to is her she's a big support to him. But then there's all this documentary evidence with the judicial system that is sticking together that doesn't bode well for him because these cards are weighing down on him. And again, there's that risk and the loyalty to his father, who also didn't show up here. But opening up the reading, we can see we have the Ruh-roh card. This is sad news. This is disappointment. This could even be an illness. But most of all, just like confrontations with your psychology that is like, okay, it's only geared towards making money. And mom, where's mom? He was close to his mom, to Ivana. He was. He was the only one that visited her all the time. Probably all she did was talk about Ivanka. Or, yeah, I mean, even Don Jr. was like, he said that. He was the one that said she always talked about Ivanka. So, okay, that was just a side note, squirrel moment there. The four corners reveal that he has psychological issues with both of these cards here because of his loyalties. He is actually very insecure inside, ignorant, insecure, feeling helpless, feeling pessimistic. I don't think he has the faith in his dad winning that she does, and I think that Lara is always boosting him up and trying to inspire him with numbers and press releases and blah blah blah. But no. So anyway, he's not able to concentrate very well anymore. He's probably depressed and sad, and he has this strategy, but it's not going to work. It's based in distraction. I think he's constantly distracting himself in order to try and stay in a optimistic place. Yeah, that'll work. Wow. This line here, these two cards above and below him, this angle here, not good. This diagonal here reveals that he's really, really stressed out. And he's feeling like I think might be in a little bit of self-sabotage. This is a card of nightmares and sleepless nights and hangovers and, just a lot of demands put on him. And demands are here. He's stepping forward into demands. Now, also, he might think he has some control over court documents that go out, but it doesn't look like it's going to really work out that well here. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. The courthouse card is our card for all legal matters, all charges that will be pressed against his dad, have been and will be, it's like that 91 felony counts being delivered. He thinks he has some control over his rivals and enemies, but nope. He is on top of a lot of deception, a lot of lies, a lot of cheating. And there's going to be a documentary discovery at some point that comes through and shows that he's just a part of this huge, very negative, sickening grift within the family. So it doesn't look good for him. He is like kind of looking forward and wishing he could escape, and he might try to. But he'll be watched. Wherever he goes, he'll be watched. I don't know if he's necessarily guilty for anything. I mean, I would think that though with these cards, with this document message card, which could also be any audio recordings, video and audio recordings, He's always been the one to speak out and say stupid things that really, like mess up the whole family. We don't need to borrow money. We get all the money we want from Russia. That was Eric. And all this stuff is recorded. And when things go to court, when cases come up to court, he and his brother, I should have said this with Don Jr., they both still owe that, and I don't know if they've paid it or not, they owe that $4 million that they were sued. And they're not able to operate in the state of New York for, 2 years? It should have been banned for 10 years. I think it was only 2. They got off light. But when the election, and this is our card for elections, when it's all said and done, he probably is going to want to leave at least for a while. We don't have the house card in this spread like we did with Don Jr. So if anybody's going to hightail it, it'll be him. So, okay, let's look at Vanky. And I noticing that the card, both the people cards have come together with both of these spreads so far. So let's see if Jared and Ivanka's cards come together as well, or show up and appear. It'll show the status of their relationship. Jared probably likes her clothes for himself. Oh, okay, let go. Clear that out. Okay. Ivanka. Oops, there we go. Ivanka and Jared, what is your future? Do you stay in the USA? Oh, I just heard no with that one. Okay, hold on. Jared and Ivanka. They have 3 kids. I think Eric and Lara have 3 kids as well. Maybe 4. Don Jr. has 5 that we know of. Okay. All right, that feels clear there. Okay, so Jared, Ivanka, busy, busy, busy. She keeps herself extremely busy. Avoidance, keeping busy as a means of avoidance. Okay. What is their future? Okay. Well, they'll do whatever they can for money. Okay, that is their home life. Children, something new, a new way to grift. Always be grifting. Instead of ABC for them, it's ABG. Okay, I think they may be home and abroad. Let's just keep looking. Okay. That's interesting there. Ooh. That's interesting the way these cards mirror together. See? Yeah, both. Maybe they already have homes in both places. I know they were building a new home in West Palm Beach, but maybe there's another even in another country. Like Dubai or something. Or Morocco. I don't know. Okay. Anyway. Always be grifting. They'll work hard to grift. Working from home a lot of times. So they're there with the kids. Lots of travel. lots of grifting. They don't even mind grifting off of, children. They don't mind being involved. And notice that their cards didn't come through. Here's her dad. This could also be Kushner's dad. We can read it both ways and see how it goes. But yeah, always going for, keeping the money flowing. And this is money that you don't have to work for. But they work in a way to bring in that grifting, that passive income. So I guess it is still work, but this means they probably have someone else do it, and they just hang out at home with the kids, and they're, they don't mind taking money from people who could barely afford it. I don't know that they're grifting as bad as their dad, though, of course. But they've got money coming in somehow that helps them to realize their dreams and longings. I don't know how much money she got from her mom's. I thought Ivana had the trust set up for the grandkids mostly, but Ivanka might have gotten something. So anyway, okay. At the heart of their relationship and future, it's all about real estate. It's all about, there's something about the J6. Well, I guess probably it's the place, maybe the J6 incident is the place where, because what's his face, Jared was out of the country, with the Saudis. And this would be him always going to grift off the Saudis. This would have to do with his setting up these hedge funds for the Saudis. There's that stable base of income that he's created there. But, this is dark money, right? Dark money that has to do with money laundering. Right here we have the 3 cards for transnational money laundering crime syndicate right here. And no matter what stable foundation he thinks he's creating or they're creating together, it leads to a terrible, terrible mental state in the future. This is the future over here. So that ties together that center card. There's some sad news when it comes to work, and maybe it has to do with the new house they were building. And this could all be in the past. And there's some sad news when it comes to enemies and rivals and, cheaters and liars, and them, I think, evading taxes. And this also could relate to the J6. Now, this could be, this is my Jack Smith card. This is my J6 committee card, or, the J6 riot, that whole thing. And I know I know that Ivanka was the one that, after 3 hours, she said, you have to make a statement. And she was the one that helped him write the video, or do the, what do you call, when it's up on I can't remember the teleprompter, up on the teleprompter. She was the one that helped him create that and get that going. So, but anyway, that's all in the past, but it's bearing on their future, because I think it put a huge rift from her dad, right? I think her dad is more of a grifter than she can even handle, but she's married to one of the biggest grifters on the planet, so there's that. And again, she keeps busy so that she can avoid and numb out from what she's actually living in, because, it's all about money for her too. She's a very unevolved Scorpio. Okay. The Great Fortune card, again, the only way you can, this card is usually hard to mess up, but the only way you can mess it up is with bad cards. These are terrible cards around it. So her fortune in the past has been messed up by her father and her hooking herself to, teaming up, being a part of her father's administration. And so the future will play out in a way that brings sadness and poverty. It might just be poverty of the spirit, but it has to do with her being loyal to her husband and like their marriage contract and all that other crap. In the future, I don't know who this supportive woman is, unless it's probably, with a combination of these cards, her spiritual connection to her mother. But this could be, maybe this is her in her old age, reflecting back and going, what did I do? I wasted my life with distraction. And discovery was always there to give her the truth, but she chose to hide it. This 9 box over here being her future tells me that she will be obsessively thinking about something, and I'm sure it has to do with being part of this, She's got to know that her husband and her father, and herself included, they're all in this transnational money laundering crime syndicate. And we're talking, trafficking people. All of this stuff is, maybe when she's an older person, going to be coming down and bearing on her. And being that she's a Scorpio, there might be some transformation there in the future. I don't know. This would be years and years and years later. This card here, this pathway card, is indicative of something that takes a long time to develop, where you go back and forth, and I like to look at it as a person's life path. Her life path in the past to be karmically hooked to her father, this is definitely her father, leads to a lot of, in the future, and this, it usually takes about a year or two at the most, but it's developing to this point where she does want to run away, she does want to escape. But probably they will always own real estate all over the world, because that's, unless she gets divorced from Jared and tries to, go out on her own. But I don't see that with these cards here. I see loyalty and sticking to, whatever is legal. So, okay. That's about all I have. If something else comes up for them in the future, I will definitely look at it again. But thanks for the question. And please know that this reading will go in a playlist where I have tons of readings on Ivanka and Jared, if you want to look at their, especially Jared, his karmic future, because of his relationship with Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia. Probably one of the darkest men on the planet. Right up there with Putin. So, okay. Take good care, you guys. Bye.